Every day there are dozens of new FX plugins coming into the market, and I know it's really hard to decide if you want to buy it or not. So today we are making the ultimate tier list for VST FX plugins. So hop in. You will see me talk a lot now because we have so many plugins to go through, and I try to include as many as possible, and I even ask my community to add their plugins so I can even add them. But this will be really comprehensive. The one thing that I would like to tell is that everything in this video is my subjective opinion. Nobody paid me to say anything about any plugins in the list, and your opinions could be completely different than mine, and that is valid, okay? So let's go. The first thing in the list is the comeback kit. This is a delay plugin from the Baby Audio. The good thing with this plugin is actually it's quite easy to dial in a good sounding delay. It's straightforward, and there's some extras like decker. You can modulate the tape, swirl, a little bit sauce. I think this was the reverb. Then you have the stereo options and the shaper. You can play with the low cut, high cut, attack, and sustain. The sound wise, it is alright. It's not like mind-blowing delay sound like some of in our list. And because of the ease of use, I'm gonna actually put it onto the A tier, but I will really say that's like around late A tier. So the next one on the list is Arturia's Dimension D chorus. This chorus sounds amazing the moment you put on any sound. It is like magic. I don't know what it is. I'm sure the original hardware unit was amazing as well. This is by far my favorite chorus plugin. Even more than the Juno chorus, because Juno chorus is like work with some things and doesn't work with others. This thing is just good. Because of that, it goes to the S tier. This thing is just stellar. It works amazingly on vocals. It works really well on pads and synth sound as well. One of my secret weapons. The next one on the list is Yuhi Tvangström. So this is a spring reverb, and I'm not a big fan of spring reverbs. They work nicely on guitars, but they really doesn't work that good on other things. Maybe drums, but I don't know. I didn't really like this sound of this one either. So for me, this one is really C tier, but it's very personal. Next one, UAD 1176 bundle, and this actually price-wise is quite alright. It's only $49, and you get the 3 revisions out of it, and because of that, it will go early A tier. The next one is the Triad. This came out, I think, was it 5 years ago? I don't know, quite a bit time ago. And this is a like splitter, but each channel can be more or less anything. So you can kind of route things around, saturate one channel, add a chorus on another channel, compress one channel. It's kind of a splitter in a modular sense. And I am actually extremely surprised with the price. Very positively surprised. At the moment, it's from 150 to €10. Come on, Plugin Alliance. Alright, that price is super cheap for something like this. The problem with this is because it's really modular, you literally have to patch the cables around to get the sound. So it's not user-friendly whatsoever. But the price is $9.99. What could you do? You put it in late A tier. If it was 150, I'm putting in C tier. I'm not even kidding. Next one, the Age Delay from Waves. Another very tutorial rich plugin. You will see this especially in the old tutorials all the time, and because of that many YouTubers also use it. For me it sounds alright. I mean, I think Ableton's own Echo sounds better than this. Because of that, I'm gonna be very controversial and put it like late C tier right away. I know a lot of people likes because super easy to dial it. Sounds wise it's okay. It's around $40. It is absolutely not worth of this price. So I'm happy with my placement. The next one is actually probably unknown for many people. It's Velvet. It's a modern DSR plugin. With DSRs, I'm extremely picky. Many times I would put DSR and there are still these like very irritating S type of sounds in the vocals. But this one works really well. It has both sibilance and tonal. It can also tonally shape your vocal to sound better, which really works well. I tried it already. I'm positively surprised, and it has much more easier control, like classic isotope EQ style controls. My go-to DSR at the moment. It's very niche. If you don't have vocals, goes like really early A. Galaxy Tape from UAD. I don't know what happened with UAD. We'll see the price like €200, €300. It says only $30. So they're better sounding, I think, delays at the moment, but it's not bad either. So I'm gonna put it in B. It's okay. Now, on the other hand, Distressor. This is something I really like to use, and I think UAD did a really good job on this specific plugin. Is it sounding as good as probably the original hardware? No, and probably it needs a bit more update as well. Is there better Distressors out there? I would assume, but for me, it's $50. A classic, hence it goes to early A tier. Very useful, works like a charm. If you like samplers, you have to see this. This is a new Lander sampler First, you pick your sample folders, and then it scans your folder, and then fun begins. Let's say by using advanced filters here, we can actually choose what type of sound that we want to try to play. Let's say I want, in this case, hi-hats. One shot, length doesn't matter, and load the samples. Now we have tons of different hats loaded on our keyboard to play. Instead, let's go for something like a loop and synth. Once you enter chromatic mode, now you can play your sample like an instrument. And then, for example, cut as you like, change the attack decay, and then right into it we have these cool effects. The workflow is super fast and nice. And there's of course slice mode. And cherry on top, build on sequencer. Let's generate random. Super fun to play. The Lander sampler is actually included in Lander Studio, including 40 other plugins like Vocaline, Lander Mastering Pro, and so on. With the link below, you can get 20% discount if you'd like to try Lander Studio. And thank you, Lander, for sponsoring this video. Next one, Echo Boy. You put it on your instrument, initial preset will sound immediately good. It gives you also quite a good of options to what to do with the delay. It has this kind of like darker character that you will really recognize in the tracks. It sounds good, but I'm gonna put it in the late A. It's so overused, it's everywhere. Now we come to another delay plugin, Ultra Tap, and this is also a very niche thing. It's like the tap delay, so you can have a lot of delay sounds at the same time. You can swirl them around and create this like very authentic delay sound. And this one also sounds immediately good oftentimes. You cannot use it all the time. It's very like intense effects, but what it does quite good. So I'm going to put it really early. Easily be A, but I feel like A is getting too much, so I have to be a bit really picky. Oh yeah, the 7 Heaven. This is the emulation of Bricas, the M7. The hardware unit, this is also like a convolution reverb made like algorithm reverb, kind of hybrid stuff, I think, if I remember correctly. Does it sound good? It sounds good, but there's one problem, and that, my friends, is the price. You are seeing it right, 300 euros, bundle, surround bundle, 750, blah blah blah, it goes crazy. Low budget version, $70. Better at least, and it's much simpler. I mean, for the $70, you can really get quite good reverb as well. Because of that, I'm gonna put it in the B. I don't think paying 300 euros for a reverb plugin in 2025 makes any sense. Now we have Waves H Reverb. Price-wise, actually fine, $39, $40. User interface, I'm not really a big fan of it with this old school looking, but it gives you quite a lot of different adjustments on your reverb, so you can actually kind of design your own reverb. So in that sense, it's kind of advanced, I will say. Sound-wise, it sounds alright too. I don't have anything really negative against it. Algorithmic reverb sounds better in my opinion. I'm going back and forward, but I'm going to put it like really early B tier. The one thing that I was considering, am I going to consider the FX bundles? Yeah, I should probably consider them, and the first one is like Archery FX bundle. The price wise, it's at the moment 500. I think it's too much straight ahead, but they often have summer sale or the Black Friday and so on, and you will probably get this one around like 250, 300 max, and you get quite a bit of stuff nowadays. All right, look at that. I think if the price is 500, it is like a maybe late A tier. But if the price is like 300, definitely S tier. So for now, because the price is 500, I'm gonna put it like around A tier because the Archery FX actually sounds really good. I mentioned these here as well. So I'm gonna put like here. But like I said, when they go into the discount, it's immediately S tier. So I mean, really good sounding effects. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna keep ranting about this one until this thing changes. And it is the vocal pitching plugins. They are expensive. You either have the Antares Autotune or the Melodyne. Melodyne is probably better for manually pitching everything. Antares is probably better for letting the plugin does most of the work for you. Look at that. It's around $600. Now there's a half price and it's around $300. I think it's way too much. And if you go for the subscription, what is this? Like $40 per month. Like, why is it so expensive? Hopefully competition will direct the prices down. Full disclosure, I have Autotune Tune Pro. But it doesn't mean that I'm gonna not rant about the pricing. The quality-wise, it's one of the best. Price-wise, it's one of the worst. Hence, I'm gonna put it in C tier. This is my way of like protesting the prices of these plugins. The next one is Vocaline. Lately I'm making elbow vocals tracks, so this is so much lifesaver. Every single time when I use this, it probably saves me an hour. For me it's really big, but I also understand it's a very niche thing. Because of that, I'm gonna put it like late A tier, simply because the price is not that cheap either. So yeah, late A tier, time saver, but you probably don't need it if you don't deal with elbow vocals. Black Hole, legendary reverb plugin. This creates this really big lush reverbs and sounds really good too. The price will decide if it goes to the A tier or B tier, $199. And that means that this goes immediately B tier. Sound wise, it sounds really good though. You should probably get it on the Black Friday, or you should get their bundle. When you buy Eventide stuff, you're probably buying their bundle, and it's very similar to Arturia. So I would put it with the Arturia here, with the A tier with their bundle, but I don't think I have it here. So keep that in mind. The next one is Kirchhoff EQ. I'm a big FabFilter Pro EQ fan because it saves my time. Now, Kirchhoff EQ, it came to say that it can do everything FabFilter Pro EQ do and do it better with extras. It can simulate different type of vintage EQs, or you can have more controls on the dynamic behavior of EQ. But immediately this made the plugin much more slower than FabFilter Pro EQ. And I also think overall look is a bit worse than FabFilter with these like weird looking knobs. Because of that, I'm gonna put the actual really late A tier. For me, between these two, I'm getting FabFilter every single time. Now this one asked a lot from the community, and I actually thought that this was a paid reverb, free download with the complete start. Good job, NI. I was about to say, okay, if it is below 50 euros, I'm gonna put it in A tier. Apparently it is free, it goes right here. I haven't included free tier plugins here simply because I wanted to make a separate tier list for the free plugins, but now I didn't know the RAM is free. I really thought that this costed like around 50, 60, 40, something like that. It doesn't. It is not really flexible. It has like these 3 different modes, and how much parameters you can play is really limited, but it sounds good from the get-go, and I really like that with some of the reverb plugins. Cleohart's FX bundle. I was about to brag, this is the only free plugin that I add in this list for a reason, and then RAM destroyed it. The reason I added this is like it's free and you get really tons of FX plugins all at once. They all sound relatively good and decent, and it's something that I actually suggest for people who doesn't have money to buy plugins. You can get this and you immediately have all the effects that you need for a really good amount of time. So because of that, I'm putting it S tier, and this is the really only free plugin that I should be including in the list. Another bundle, SSL. It sounds good, but allow me to introduce prices. This is SSL Essentials bundle. So what you get, channel strip 2, bus compressor 2. Price is $500. Is that reasonable? I don't think so. I assume that the prices are like this because they want you to go for their subscription model. It's relatively okay because you are getting the slate, solid state, but alone with those prices, it's too expensive for what you get if you want to buy plugins, and you are more or less guided to buy subscription instead. The next on the list is that another plugin that does only one thing, but I think it is the best in the market for what it does. It just does volume automation, and most of the time you are using it to sidechain. But the workflow is so good, and it takes me really 1 click, 2 click oftentimes to get it done whatever I want to do. And the price, only $24.49. Very fair. And we see the Venice here. He's probably liking it too. So because of that, I'm gonna put it really early A tier. If you're enjoying video up to now, please consider like and subscribe. It really helps a ton. Racewire, it's the UHI plugins compressor. Price is 129 euros. I think this is one of the best sounding compressors that I've ever used. It's a bit confusing, so it's a negative for the beginners, but includes saturation and multi-channel compression and on-dry wet, high-pass filters. Like, it's everything that you need in a way that sounds really good. Only reason this is not ending up the S tier is the price. 129 is still too much, and you'll probably never get a discount on this. Because of that, it's gonna get like early A tier. The next on the list is the Smart De-esser, $44. So price-wise, completely fine. And this is very similar to iZotope's new Velvet De-esser. And this one I think uses the AI to get the DS out. And it sounds actually quite good as well. I think iZotope sounds slightly better, and that tonal shaping is also really nice with the iZotope. I'm gonna put it like A. So it's behind, I think, the iZotope's plugin, but it's still quite good if you need de-essing and you wanna try it out. Arturia 1176, now it's $99. I think it's more expensive than it should be, but nobody never gets Arturia single effect. We all get them as a bundle. It sounds great, as good as the UAD stuff, I think. Price-wise, it's expensive, so this goes to B level to double the price compared to UAD. But you're gonna go for the Arturia bundle anyways. We all know it. And here we have the LA2AD and the price again, $50. Thank you AD for not being vase, putting like 200 here and discounted 50 and blah blah, like stopping with that is okay price for okay plugin. Old one given, but I still find this way in my workflow. It has this like really slowly smoothing out feeling. For the vocals, I think it works really well as a smoother kind of. It has a really nice character as well. Here we go. I like LA2A more than this 76, so we are getting a huge A list. Oh yeah, guitar rig only costs $99.50. Given that it's from 200, so we have summer discount most likely. But even 200 for guitar rig for me is completely alright. I never use guitar rig for my guitars. I have my guitars over here. I have my like tube pedals and tube everything. The reason I like Guitar Rig 7 as a producer is it just gives you so much creative options. You just throw stuff in it and you end up with a sound that you never think about it. And for the 99, I think it's a steal. Hence, late S tier. If it was 200 without the discount, I will put it probably like around here. Alright, Sugar. When it came out, this was most people's new favorite. It's basically multi-band saturation plugin with the linear phase filters. It sounds alright. It's not like mind-blowing. It's kind of refreshing and easy to use, colorful and fun. And I see that's from 150 to 75. I think 150 is too much. If it is 150, I'm definitely putting on a light B tier. But because at the moment 75 only, somewhere here should be good enough. The next one, RC20. This plugin is loved by community simply because it sounds good immediately, especially if you are going for this more lo-fi, slightly degraded type of sound. But it's also kind of a niche, like you cannot put it everywhere. The price will be the decider. $99.95. It's too expensive. I think this plugin is like $50 plugin, definitely going straight to B tier. I mean, you can get the most of the effects that RC20 does in your DAW with other plugins, so I think it's too niche to be too expensive. Neon Reverb. This is Isotope's Smart Reverb. This is really good for beginners. 109. It's on the expensive side, but it gives you a lot of things to play. It actually sounds good too. If you get it like below 100, easy A tier. But 109, it could be really B here too. I'm in between, but for now, I'm gonna just put it here. This is Arturia's phaser. It's an emulation and I really love it. It sounds really good. For the phasers, even for the flangers, if you have played guitar, when you use them, they don't sound so phasey. They sound oftentimes warm and cozy. They don't have this like weird phase sound that you often get with the emulations. This is one of the phases that I really kind of get that sound. And that's the reason that I'm going to put it like early A tier. Some of the sounds or presets are very useful too. So there's a reason it goes here. Valhalla Room. It's amazing for me to see the price still $50. I think the price has been $50 forever. I think it's also a bit of the competition, of course. Nowadays, a good reverb plugin price is like around 50, 75, somewhere around there as well from the look of it. I'm one of the person that doesn't like Valhalla Room that much anymore. Starting to sound a bit outdated and I think there are better sounding reverbs. Hence, it goes to early B tier. A lot of competition on the reverb space, unfortunately. Okay, the next on the list is Mujuk. The first thing that I want to take a look is the price. It's only 24 euros. This sounds really good on bass and kick as a like a bass processing. It's very niche. The price is very low. I'm going to put it really early B tier because of that. I can argue that it could be here too, but for the $24, okay, let's put it here. I think it deserves A tier. Next one is Neutron. So it's one of these bundles. 161 from 269. Alright, that price is actually really good. The reason being is when you get Neutron, what you get is actually really good equalizer. You get the compressor with the 3 different versions. Very straightforward to use. You get one of my favorite exciter. You get gate. You get sculpture, transient shaper, one of the best in the market in my opinion. And you have the unmask. So you basically get 8 plugins for the price of $20 each. Every one of these effects are really top of the game. And additionally, you get this like assistance that they have. For me, doesn't matter, but these things, I use them all the time. I think it's kind of no-brainer. There is really no argument against it. Alright, then community's favorite. It is very cheap, around $25, and it is saturation alteration kind of a distortion. It sounds very different. kind of hit and miss in my opinion. Sometimes it sounds really good, sometimes it sounds horrible. Because of that, I'm gonna put it really early B, but you can argue it can be A too. But it's kind of confusing at the beginning. You will see all these buttons and weird shapes. What's going on, right? These 16 repeaters. Now, this is another eco plugin. 23 different delay models. Sound-wise, it sounds pretty good. You will get this, you will use it. It's a warm sounding, really nice eco. Price is not that cheap. 89 is not cheap. Alright, early B, simply because of the price. If it was below 75, I should put it A. I'm here to defend your wallet. The next one is Suit. I'm very biased. I use Suit all the time. And now I know FabFilter Pro Q4 has spectral, but I think Suit has this like a ease of use. It's very nice visualizations. And I used also for unmasking. I can remove the lead sound from the pad, for example, by sidechaining it. Also drums sometimes. I was about to put in S tier, but I remember this thing is not cheap. 199. Alright, that's concluded. Goes late A. I think it's an excellent plugin. I use it all the time. There are many of them in my projects, but 199, given that there are alternatives now, I think the price should come down a bit, but very nice plugin. Here we go. Another classic. Infiltrator. 119. This thing does so many things that you don't expect. It actually has like its own effect suite under. Look at this. Distortion, reverb, loop, slow, ring mode, phaser, decimate, reflex, range, reverse, pitch, FM, delay, vocoder, voice speed, spectrals, utilities. There's so much things in it. You basically getting kind of a plugin suite because there are so many things. It's a bit complicated for the beginners. There are so buttons everywhere and shapes everywhere and they're like tabs everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna put because of that here. It's really fun when you get used to it. Sonyville doing some smart AI stuff lately. This is the AI limiter, so it kind of using AI to limit properly so the sound stays better. I'm gonna come clean. I never use this one personally. Before I do this video, I checked a couple of videos to just see what's going on. Because of that, I'm gonna put an A tier, but comment below if I'm missing something. I felt like, okay, it's just like how much you can do with the limiter, right? But the price is very good, right? 44 is really good price, so I maybe should put it earlier too because of that. Yeah, makes sense. Pitch Monster, another very specific plugin for the vocals. Basically helps you to play around with the vocal, either play with the format, very useful, or you can vocode or do things like pitch shifting, filtering, or using the vocal as well. Price is fine. I think 94 is too much. 63 is about right. I will put it in B. Things that it has, you can do probably with your DAW as well, but there's a couple of things that you cannot. So really early B, I think is fair enough. Shaper Box, it's basically similar to the Infiltrator, slightly simpler, more user-friendly for sure, but you get also slightly less options. You still get this like drive, noise, filter, quite a bit of stuff. One thing I really don't like shaping the curve, like you have the left click, the right click, it's a bit more confusing than that or other things. $99, I think it's fair enough. Let's put an S tier. I think the price could be, I'm so in between. Okay, S tier. Okay, I do it. Here we go, my favorite delay plugin, Timeless. First thing, the price. I'm not expecting it to be cheap, to be honest. It is $129, more or less what I expected to be fair. It is kind of almost double the price of other plugins, but it's also the most capable, best sound delay plugin that is out there. The price makes me want to put it A, but also feel like it's not fair because like really my favorite delay plugin. It's easy to use, it sounds really good. It can get extremely complicated if you like it. You can modulate everything, anything, or you can just go for simple sounds. It goes the 8 tier, price sounded. I am arguing with myself. Okay, 8 tier is fair enough. Valhalla delay. With Valhalla delay, you also get quite a bit different delay modes. So you have this all different tape, hi-fi, blah, 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 different options, and then you can choose the past, present, future. And it sounds good most of the time. Nowadays, I find myself using Valhalla delay less and less because we have so much different options, especially more visual options as well. So I'm gonna put it like late A tier because of that. And price is same, I'm sure, $50. I would actually put it somewhere here. Makes sense. Here we go, Oxford limiter. I never understood the hype around this one. I know some big producers used it. For me, it never sounded that special. I'm gonna straight put it in the C tier. Oh my god, what is this price? What is this price? 300 euros. You know what? C tier becomes late C tier. I'm gonna put it in D tier for that price. The next one is Rift. When it comes to Rift, in theory, it can do so many stuff. But because it does so many stuff, sometimes it sounds horrible, other times it sounds good. But because of the options that you get, it is getting A tier, but the price was not bad either. If it was under 29, this is going straight to the B tier. SYNTHS from the 16. This is actually the first course plugin that I really like, and it costs only $59. The user interface is cool as well, straightforward to use. I'm gonna put it here. Nowadays we have many good sounding course plugins, but this sounds also very good still. I think it's fair enough. Now comes the spiff. This is a transient shape with extremely interesting capabilities. Again, a plugin that I wouldn't live without. I really like. There's so many things that you can go around. Cheaper than Suit, $149. Because of that, it goes next to Suit. Also a plugin that I wouldn't live without. So keep that in mind. Serum FX, so it comes with Serum. Given the capabilities it has, it is an easy S tier. The new Serum FX sounds really good. Get the sound source from another synth, but then get all the Serum's capabilities. Don't sleep over Serum FX. It is amazing. Alright, Transient 2, another YouTuber's underused plugin. I have it, I use it. The use case for me is like I sometimes want to get out of a sound, get into sound, or need a transition. I just throw the transient, move through the presets, and then I find something that will fit. It's very handy. Price $79. Yeah, fair enough, I suppose. It's not too expensive. Late A tier, decent. Next one on the list is Valhalla Vintage Reverb. This has to be my most used reverb for sure. In a sense, that's probably the most used reverb in whole production community. It's the Serum equivalent of the reverb. It sounds amazing from the get-go. It costs only €50. It really goes to one of the very early S-tier FX plugin. I'm not gonna say anything against it. The next one is Satin. It's tape emulation / multi-tap delay, because then you can have 4 heads, tape heads, so you can have 4 delays going at the same time. I think it sounds amazing. My favorite tape delay, and having 4 tape heads means that you can really make tape delays or swerveling delays. That it's really flexible as well. It is one of the easiest to get good sound out of it. You can also use this one as a tape saturation. I know some people use it on the master. The price $129. This makes me put like early A tier as well. Price is a bit too expensive, but it sounds amazing. FUF Filter Pro DS. I don't like Pro DS whatsoever. I use it still time to time, but I always feel like DS doesn't sound good enough. It cost €169. Oh my god. I'm really sorry. I love FUF Filter. Here we go. Finally, we have a D tier and it's a FUF Filter plugin. The Velvet. It's like the third of a price, a better product. It will be easily B tier, but that price makes it easily D tier. I'm sorry, FUF Filter. I love everything you do apart from Pro DS. The next one on the list is Yuhi Color Copy, $69. Now, this is fairly priced. Overall, bucket brigade delays with extended modern features. It's not a plugin that sounds good get-go, you have to play around a little bit. I'm not a big fan of it. I didn't like the sound that much. And yeah, alright, it's alright, I suppose. The next one is Per C. The first thing, the price is $169, of course. How come Pro DS and Per C is the same price? Not a cheap plugin, but it's one of the most versatile compressor plugin that you ever buy. They have different compressor types, like you have the classic, opto, vocal, mastering, bass, punch, pumping. So you actually get quite a bit of compressor out of it, in a sense. Hence goes the A tier, early A tier. The only reason that's not going S tier is the price. I think this is fair enough for this. Altverb, the best sounding convolution reverb out there probably. Now we have another runtime. Let's say you want to try it out. That is the price. Including the tax is €600. The X-Large version is €1,000. If you are like a composer for the classic music that you want to put your instrument in a very specific room, very specific hall, I guess that makes sense. But for producers, there's no way this makes sense. So it sounds amazing, but there's a lot of good sounding reverbs out there. Here we go on my favorite analog saturation plugin. Straight into early S tier. Let's check the price. Oh my god, it's only $24 at the moment. It's very versatile. You can do sidechain processing, you can do mid-side processing, 3 types of saturation at once. Sounds stellar. You know what? For that price, it goes straight to the S tier. The first plugin here. It's in my every single project. It's amazing. And comes Decapitator. I used to use Decapitator a lot until I met this guy. Also Arturia's Vulture Culture. I don't have in the list. I forget about it. First thing, price $199. No way. It was like a go-to situation for many people for many years. It sounds good, but $199 makes it for me like late B tier. Let's be honest, nobody's buying Decapitator alone. You are buying sound toys. FX bundle, we will talk about it soon, but like alone €200, no way. The next one is on the list, Gullfoss. Alright, the first thing, I was expecting another €200 plugin. It is not. Now the price is around 100. Sorry, it was Crafter. It is $200. Let me come clean. I really like this plugin. I use it a lot in my tracks. It's good to balance out the sounds. Works really nice with the vocals. Works really nice with the real live instruments. Works really nice on the master too. $200. Get it on the Black Friday. Late A tier. Trash, the new trash for isotope. The old trash was my favorite, new trash is not so much. To be fair, only 32, regular price was 100. For a 32, it's easily A tier, right? 100, I would put it B tier, 32 here. Pro B, if you are using multiband compression, this is it. It's super easy to use, super straightforward. I use it all the time. Taming the stuff around, like it's everywhere. Under 69, including wet at least. To be fair, you're probably getting this right, mixing bundle, and you are getting all these things, and when you consider the price that way, it's completely fair. Nobody's getting single anyways. Regardless, because this is used so much, not many alternatives out there, it goes to S tier. Melodyne, here we go, rant continues. Lucky you, it's only $700. Sure, to be fair, they have the Essential and Apparel Assistant version for better prices. This is a good thing. I don't know how good Melodyne 5 Essential. I remember using it back in the day, and I immediately ran into the problems because they didn't let me and I had to upgrade it. I guess the Melodyne editor should be fair for most people. $400. Oh my god, man. Here you go. I protest. That's it. Now we have Ozone, 220. 1, 2, 3, 19 plugins for 200. Every single one of these are one of the top quality in the market. Like this exciter on my every single master. Impact is very nice as well. You have this like spectral shaper, works like almost like Golfos, and then you have like the maximizer that I use all the time in my single element, like on my lead. I don't think I need to talk more. This is another like very, very fair deal. Goes straight into the S tier. If you get the Neutron and Ozone, what is 400 total? Everything you need for mixing kind of, and mastering, which is crazy. One of my favorite, it is the split EQ from Eventide. I like Eventide as a company quite a bit. 179, so around the fab filter per Q price. So that is expensive. It does more or less all fab filter per Q. It does slightly different way, but it does also split EQ. You can control transients and the tonals separately. So you can EQ them separately. Because there's no real alternative for me as good of this one, I want to put the S tier, but the price is 179. I'm going to put early A tier because really there's no alternative like as good of this EQ. Very valuable for mixing engineer. Next one, I wanted this sound to be really good. This is the Vice Limiter Maximizer. This is kind of legendary compressor limiter. Like I think it's a one-to-one actually replication of the hardware in it. And $320 kind of way too expensive. I was disappointed. I don't know, maybe other people like it. I was disappointed with the sound of it. I think current modern limiters like fab filter, Ozone's maximizer, to me it sounded better. And given that price range, I can consider putting a C tier. I don't know, I don't see the charm. Pro Q4, the best EQ out there. Of course, 169, it's not cheap, but the best EQ out there. So the time that you save and the capabilities of EQ worth the price. I understand maybe delay, timeless, or the other things 169 is not good enough, but for me, this single plugin is almost every single channels that I have. I think it's worth it. Crafter, $100. Not the cheapest one, not the expensive one either, but this is, I think, the best clipper out there. Straight ahead. Amazing user interface. Idea behind like splitting the different bands and clipping differently, I think really smart. Sounds extremely good. It's also kind of saturation at the same time, clipper saturation stuff. $100. I'm being a little bit unfair, but because I'm using it so much lately, I'm gonna give it an S tier. Mal the FX bundle. Holy cow. This is like a 2000 plus. Nobody's buying that. I'm surprised. I'm not big Malda user, but I always thought the prices are a bit better than this. It says 108 total plugins. That's also crazy. So you get everything you need, but still, that price, I'm going to put it in B tier. I don't use Malda plugins that much, so I'm a bit not sure where to put it, but from the price, I'm going to put it B. I think it's fair enough. Fab filter Southern, I'm sure it's 169. Good sounding multiband saturation. The benchmark when it comes to the multiband, everybody loves it when you start using it because it's simple to use as well. Fair enough. Parallel aggressor. This is kind of like parallel saturation and you can really go hard with it. And when I tested it, I really enjoyed it. I use still time to time when I want to really go hard. 29. Cheap as well. Let's go with A tier. Real, another fab filter plugin that I cannot live without it. If I want a really clean limiting, I use it all the time. Fab filter has different algorithms. I will, for example, limit my bass, but I want the limiting happen on the higher end, so keep the low end bass. So you would go for the fab filter aggressive. Very useful, right? Price makes it hard to put it in S tier, but plugin is so good. S tier, I'm okay with it. Diffusion. It is similar to split EQ, but this time we control the transient effects, but then we apply the creative effects on those parts, like change the volume, play with the pitch, feedback, and so on. And the tonal at the same time as well. 179. Okay, that means it to go to PEEP tier. Unfortunately, I think this is a bit too expensive for what it is. Thermal. First off, I really like thermal because then you can make really modulated saturation sound, and it's also multiband saturation at the same time. And on those multibands, you can use different type of envelopes, LFOs. It can get really advanced really fast, and you can create really amazing sound. I love thermal. 149. To be fair, I think it's not far off from the vert of the plugin. I will put it next to sudden A here, early A actually. Here we go. Well, look at that. FabFilter Pro R3. I guess another 169. Yes, it is. My favorite reverb plugin together with the vintage reverb. I mostly rely on these two on my productions. I would either go for vintage reverb if I want to go this vintage sound, or if I want to go cleaner or more defined sound, I would go with Pro R. 169, to be honest, a bit more expensive than should probably be. Somewhere late A tier should be fine. Output portal is a granular effects on any sound, so it granulates the sound that you have, and then from there, like thermal, you can modulate the things and do crazy stuff. Sometimes it gets very interesting, but I think the price is a bit too much. 159 euros, very early B, very late days. When it goes to Black Friday and so on, I think it can easily be A, because what it does is really fun, and there's not so many plugins that does it as good as Portal. Replica XT. Price-wise, I'm very surprised. It's only $7.27. I think they has the summer sale. 27 is very cheap. This is one of those delay plugins, similar to Valhalla Delay. You put it on and it sounds good from the get-go. It's not that advanced, that complicated, but it sounds nice. And for $29, I think it's a steal. Now, this is interesting. Sound Toys FX Bundle. $500. Well, I think it could be a bit cheaper because some of them started to sound a bit outdated, to be fair. But yeah, I think this is fair enough. Output movement. This is also kind of a creative modulation plugin. You can play around like delays, reverbs, 149. Portal is probably before this one. Yeah, these two can easily be late A tier as well. So. And final is Neural DSP. This is something very not interesting for most of the producers because we don't oftentimes play instrument, and Neural DSP is really good for playing guitars. They have probably one of the best distortion effects. They are not the cheapest, 160, 170, 140, but they're probably one of the best, if not the best sound. So late A because of that. And yeah, that concludes it. I'm very sure I forget tons of plugins, but I already have more than 80 here, and this is already a very long video. If I forget a plugin that you think important, write on the comment section which plugin that is, and write what makes it good or bad, and give your own tier. Drop in the comments. I'm really interested to read them. You can also check my other tier list over here for the instruments.